Hello, right, just quickly, if you haven't already, subscribe. You get these videos first, they're brilliant. That'll be a good thing for your life in general. Now, the Arsenal, the Gunners, the Gunnersnulls, the Arsenals. Anyway, we're playing Arsenal, so this is the 5-point preview. Now, are they really title contenders?
I think Ozil's had very much a RVP factor on the whole team, as RVP did it with us last season. But I still think they're missing a little bit in terms of a squad. But as a first 11, they've got as good as any about. So I don't think they are as bad as last season. I think they have improved, but I think Ozil does paper over the cracks a little bit.
I don't know about the 11. I still think defensively they're not all that. And I still think as well, I think Giroud's a decent striker, but I don't think he's in the same class as some of the other strikers about. Certainly not the two that we've got.
And I was reading before that Rooney was saying on BBC Sport like that they've done this before and seen where they stand in March. I think that's quite a valid point. Like they might be ahead now, but they haven't won anything major since 2005. So I don't think they're as big of a threat. I mean, I think obviously like you say with the Özil and stuff, they've obviously got it on paper, but I don't think they're like such a massive threat. I think we've still got as good a squad.
Should say other sports websites are available, namely youtube.com/FullTimeDEVILS.
Yeah.
Now then, we've mentioned their midfield. That is point number 2 on the 5-point preview. Their midfield, that is where all of their talent lies, specifically Mesut Ozil, who gets all the plaudits. However, today, for the 4th month in a row, Aaron Ramsey has been named their Player of the Month. Is he the guy we should really be paying attention to?
Yeah, well, I think his goal-scoring record's getting quite ridiculous. Is it something like 6 goals in 7 games or something like that? I might be wrong. But he's finally showing that potential that made us interested in him a few years ago. Yeah, and he's one that's definitely got to watch. It's not just the goals he's scoring; it's the type of goals he's getting as well. They're not the amount of goals, but the goals he's getting. Some of them have been pretty spectacular.
I was just going to say, and obviously with like Özil and Ramsey, they create so much decent play and obviously opportunities that makes them intimidating. They're intimidating players to come up against as well at the moment with the form that they're on.
Has there ever been a time in Premier League history when the midfields have been so mismatched? Because you would say at United that's maybe where we're weakest right now, but they've got Wilshere, Ramsey, Ozil, Cazorla. They are blessed with talent through there. What do you think? I
think the midfields have been mismatched in our favour before, years ago. I think, if you go back to when we won the double, we had a really strong midfield. We had like Hargreaves, Carrick, Scholes, and, they just had basically Fabregas. And now it's sort of role reversal. Like you just said, they've got all these strong midfield players, Arteta, Cazorla, Özil, Ramsey, and we've got Carrick and arguably some average ones.
I think they've got a lot of attacking midfielders. I think they're blessed with a lot of great attacking midfielders, which is what we're lacking. But I mean, in terms of, you've got Carrick where they've probably got Fellaini and stuff like that. So I think Carrick would get into their team, I believe, but their midfield in the attacking areas is a lot stronger than ours. And I think that's where we're lacking, and they've got a lot. But at the same token, RVP and Rooney better than their strike force, and our defence is better than theirs as well. So, swings and
our keeper.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think Carrick will be fit for this game? Would you risk him?
I think he could have played. I think if yesterday, if Real Sociedad was like, a quarter-final or a knockout game, I think he'd have started. And I think the reason that he didn't is because we've got Arsenal on Sunday. So Carrick will start on Sunday, I think.
Okay, right. We've just mentioned Michael Carrick, so let's talk about teams. Amy, what's your starting 11?
Well, like I said, there's a couple of injuries and stuff, and I'm assuming that Cleverley will be back from his little double vision, whatever, and what have you. So there's a few injury things, like I've had to put Smalling in, which, Anyway, let's go. I've got De Gea, Smalling, Jones, Vidic and Evra, Carrick, Cleverley, Nani, Rooney, Januzaj and RVP at the front.
Okay. Justin, any changes or is it the same?
No, I mean, this might sound a bit crazy. I've gone for Welbeck over Januzaj, and a lot of people are going to think, well, that's madness. And I do want to see Januzaj figure at some point. But what worries me, I think I've seen that Walcott's coming back. Patrice Evra's just played 90 minutes in a tough European game where he's ran his heart out. And I'm worried that he's going to have a lot to do down that left-hand side. So I'd actually favour playing Welbeck on the left, just because he's going to have to help out Patrice Evra, which is something that Januzaj might not do as much of. But as the game wears on, I'd definitely bring him in at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me throw this at you. I'm surprised that neither of you have started crowd favourite and
Young.
champion of Arsenal game past, Ashley Young.
Oh yeah, if we need a penalty, then yeah, obviously you bring him on. I don't think he's going to lift anyone's spirits if we see him starting on Sunday. I think if anything, it could work in Arsenal's favour.
What do you think? What do we think about the diving antics?
Gross.
Gross. Nice.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think it's bad, but I think everyone's getting a little bit OTT with Ashley Young. I really do. It just seems to be this thing. Even before the diving, I remember last season at Sunderland, everyone was on his case, and I didn't think he played that badly. I think he's one of them players that hasn't really, United fans haven't warmed to, but it's difficult to defend him for those antics because I know we've had players like Ronnie and Nani and Rooney who've died, but he's taken it to another level, and it's a shame he can't take the rest of his game to that level.
Something that pisses me off a little bit with United fans is they're just, I've said it
Strong
before.
language, Adam. Strong language.
I know, sorry, I didn't censor myself today. Blame it on the man flu, but fans, like Ashley Young didn't play badly yesterday, if we're honest. He came on and along with RVP and Kagawa moving central, changed the game in our favour a little bit. It could have brought us a goal. Fair enough, it was a dive, it's embarrassing, but fans just, like, how can you get on the guy's back so much? He's playing for Manchester United at the end of the day.
I would say the reason people get on his back, Adam, if I'm going to interrupt you for a second, is because although he is playing for Manchester United and we should support our players, would you not argue that he's tainting the club's reputation?
Yeah,
because look at this.
Because we're so popular with everyone and everyone respects us so much.
But look how Suarez has changed people's opinion of Liverpool, regardless of whatever you felt about them before. He's intensified people's feelings because of the way he behaves on the football pitch and because they let him get away with it and they encourage it almost.
I don't think it's that at all. I think United fans just love something to moan about, whether it's Nani or it's Young. If as soon as the player does something wrong, let's have a fucking moan. It's just really gets on my nerves.
Though, the reason I said it was gross is that the way that he went for that dive, to me, made us look desperate. It made us look like, we need some play, we need to get this, we need to get the pen. And I just, for me, it looked embarrassing. I think we've got more class than to have to do that.
Good point, Amy. We've got more class. Right, let's get back to Arsenal. How do we beat them?
I think I'd like to see us getting out wide more and getting it to the strikers. I think if we go through the middle, we're just playing it into their hands because they're going to try and funnel it through the likes of Ozil, through the likes of Ramsey. Maybe one of Arteta or Wiltshire. Whereas if we get out wide, get Tony Valencia down that wing, is it Kieran Gibbs? Then I think we've got a much better chance. If we can bring RVP and Rooney into the game. Then if we go through the middle and it becomes a midfield battle, that's playing into their hands. Do
you agree with that, Adam?
I think in the past we've ruffled their feathers a little bit, and I think we've signed Fellaini for games like this against Arsenal, and I think I'd start him. And I hope him and Carrick are key to this game. If them two can play well, then we'll do well. Also, our fullbacks. David Moyes hasn't got full use of Raphael. Evra's done better this season, although defensively he's still a bit weak. I think the fullbacks are key. If they can support the wingers, get behind the defenders, the Arsenal defence, then I think we'll do well. Do you
not think, though, Adam with Fellaini, he just seems to get in Carrick's way a lot of the time?
Yeah, I think
I do agree. He seems to be stood right next to him in his way.
I think Carrick and Fellaini will play better in a 3. We've seen it against Donetsk away. It was Carrick cleverly and Fellaini, and they played a lot better than they did when Carrick and Fellaini played against Southampton, I think it was. So I'd like to see them in a 3 with 2 wide and a man up top. So I'd like to see a goal like that. So
we mentioned their midfield earlier, but who are their danger men?
Obviously, we mentioned Ramsey and Özil. Özil's assisted his own birth. He gets that many assists. But with Giroud, I also think I think for season intimidating. As much as I think our strike force is good, I think he's a danger man for me personally.
Amy, did you say he assisted his own birth?
Pretty much. He's just done that many assists this season.
I have never heard that expression before.
You can use it. Okay. You can take that one.
I probably won't use it, but thanks very much. Do we need to worry about Giroud? Is he a problem?
No, I don't think so. I think he's a flat track bully. I think he plays well against the lesser teams, but I think if our defenders, I think we've got the quality to cope with him. I don't think he's particularly fast. He's a decent finisher, but I think if someone like Vidic plays, I think he can do a job on him.
Johnny Evans will stick Giroud in his pocket. I think
Giroud
only plays well when they play well. And if Ozil, Ramsey and Wilshere play well, then he will obviously get more into the game. But I think the key is to keep Ozil quiet and Ramsey as well. I think everything good comes through them. Also, with Evra's form, Jay mentioned Walcott may be coming back. Evra will need to be on his game if Walcott plays because, as we've seen, he's got great pace. It's pretty much all he's got, and he could absolutely roast Evra if he wanted to.
Roast him. Nice. Now, predictions. Amy, go.
Oh, I don't want to say that I think we'll lose. I'm going to say 1-1. I don't think it's going to be some... I'm struggling with it. I'm just going to say 1-1. I'm just going to be quiet. And...
The days of 8-2 are very much long gone.
Yeah.
Justin?
I'm going to go 2-1. I think they might get the first goal, but I think we'll come back. And I think this is the game where we're going to show everyone that we are in this title race.
I like that. That would be nice. Yeah. Adam?
I agree with Jay. 2-1. This is where Manchester United are going to stand up now. We've seen it in the past where people write us off and keep writing us off and saying we're not going to be there or thereabouts. We're going to beat Arsenal on Sunday and we're going to start climbing towards that top spot.
Hell yeah.
That would be ideal. I am going to say 1-0 because I don't want to agree with any of you. I want to do something different. And I think there's a genuine possibility that will be the score. And I might
not 2-0 today,
right
sir.
For once. No, I'm going 1-0. Every time I say 2-0, we don't do anywhere near that well. My ambition is fading. Right, guys, thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again.
Boom, that was the Arsenal preview. We'll find out what happens on Sunday. They say the best things in life are free, and in this case, it's very, very true. So subscribe to Full Time Devils because it will cost you nothing. There's loads of benefits. You'll get all the videos first. It's amazing. So do that. Comment on the video. Let us know what you think. Who would you play? Who wouldn't you play? Who are the danger men? And what should Moyes be doing differently? Do it.